Incredible morning. Oh, sorry. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? I'm looking for this post so I can change my privacy. I'm looking for this post so I can share it out. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Ooh, they changed the order on me. Incredible morning. All right, let's share it out. How are you guys doing? I'm just going to share out real quick. Um it's a vibe right here. The song. I was just watching TikTok videos. It's a vibe right here. It's a vibe. Stuck, reverse. Slide, 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 slippery slide. Chicken head with it. Okay, my bad. um Did I post this in all of my platforms? Yes, I did. Alrighty. Hello. How art thou? Incredible morning. How are you guys doing? Um boom, 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 boom. Ooh, y'all are on it. That's what I'm talking about. It's a couple of y'all that's like, look, forget all the pleasantries. I got questions. You on? I read the title. I'm getting my questions in now. So it's three people on. Wait, is it two? Two people. Thank y'all for posting y'all questions early. That's what I'm talking about. Hello, everybody. Good morning. I am Shakia, the professor of HSC 365 LLC, which is the parent company for Soloholics Anonymous, 365 Creative Academy, and our amazing product line, Honestly Speaking, where we sell sublimation ink, sublimation paper, chip resetters, cartridges, syringes, and so much more over on our website, www.hsink365.com, or you can go shop.hsink365.com. Either one of those will work and get you over to our site. I do live videos such as this weekly, sometimes daily, all in an effort to help you guys in your creative space, whatever that may be, whether you do it for personal or for business. If you're trying to turn it, into a full-on business or just a side hustle, I teach you how to navigate Silhouette Studio, about sublimation, doing things with pigment ink, such as big cutouts, party favors, chip bags, stickers. I use it to create my templates for foam board things. So I do a lot, all from Silhouette Studio. And I do my best to teach you guys different tips and tricks with using Silhouette Studio for all of these creative things. We also do live demos of like different projects like print and cut, sublimation, and a whole lot more. If you are not subscribed to our YouTube channels, there's a link in the description that says the professor's helpful links, I think, or something like that. That is a full list that takes you to our link tree. Everything from our website, upcoming classes, key videos, resources such as websites for all of your other supplies that we don't sell, fonts, and so much more can be found on that link tree. So be sure to check that out. If you guys have not done so already, please give this video a thumbs up, so that you don't forget, you get all deep into it and then forget to give it a thumbs up, especially if you're asking a question. Let's make sure that we give it a thumbs up and we at least share it out. If I'm going to be here to help you guys, please do your part and help me as well. And all I really ask, you don't have to go and purchase anything from our site. I always say my favorite humans support my business 365 days a year. You don't have to just buy from it. And supporting is sharing it out, tagging someone in it, just giving it a like. When you see people with questions in the groups, just recommend our site. Go ahead and save that link for our helpful links and pass that on to someone. That is the greatest form of support. So, if you didn't quite look at the title and you just clicked on it because it popped up and said, hey, the professor's on. This is kind of, I'm not going to say bittersweet, but March is going to be a really, 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 really busy month for us here over at HS Ink 365 LLC, because I have actually three major classes and teaching things going on all at the same time. So we have that. I'm also working on some things, that will be released in May, because May is my birthday month. So I have my birthday present to y'all. My birthday present to myself is a gift to y'all. So I have some major things that we're working on that's going to be released in May. And I have to take time to let him come in here and change the lighting and stuff. So yeah, I won't have access to my space the way that I would like to. And I'm going to also doing some in-house training for folk for our company. So March is going to be really, really busy. That means my time online is going to be very, very limited, from live videos even to being in the groups and, being able to help that way. Because again, I'm going to be like knee deep in work. So we do have the Silhouette 30-day, I call it a challenge, but I guess you can challenge yourself to learn Silhouette Studio in 30 days. I am going to have different live videos, which they're live via Zoom. This is a paid course, but I'm going to be doing basically my essentials of Silhouette Studio that I normally do in like 4 hours, and I rush through like certain parts of it. We're going to slow it down a little bit. So it's a little bit it's a little bit slower than my essentials to Silhouette Studio that I've done in 2020 and 2021, but it's a little bit faster than my bachelor's program, where we have been learning graphic designing like as a whole, utilizing Silhouette Studio. I'm teaching them all of the tools and how to properly use them, even when it's like it's the same tool but used in a different technique in a different way. So that's a year-long program. So this is that program. Towards the end of it, like the last week is like that program on speed. And then everything else is me really breaking down the program so that you guys can fully understand where all the tools are, what their functions are, their basic uses, and it will make it trust me, this 30-day course, this 30-day challenge will make it a lot easier for you to to learn from watching YouTube videos. I find that although YouTube videos are great, when instructors or content creators are going through it, they know the program, they know where to click at, and it can seem like it's moving pretty fast. I've watched some videos and I'll see comments, oh, this moved too fast to me, you need to slow it down. And I don't think they move fast. It's just that you are not familiar with where tools are, where they're clicking at, why are they clicking on that. And that is what my 30-day Silhouette Studio course will do for you. You will become completely familiar with the entire interface of Silhouette Studio, knowing where things are, knowing all of the redundancies, and it'll make it a lot easier for you to follow along with any other classes that I have that are not like beginner and like going through, okay, you're going to right click here, this does this. This will definitely help you with that. My Essential to Silhouette Studio is always the ultimate like reference guide. You can go back to any of my videos at any time. If you get stuck, you're not quite sure where something is, I always break it down. Like in the playbacks, it's broken down by sections. So if you are wanting to really elevate what you think you know about Silhouette Studio, consider joining our 30-day silhouette. I call it silhouette challenge, but it's basically Stitches a Silhouette Studio in 30 days. So it's learning the basics of it in 30 days. Just gonna go through a quick little rundown of what all like the days. Well, you're gonna see the post, but I'm gonna go through it. So the first week is really just understanding the interface. So if you feel like you kind of know that, you might want to skip some of those sessions. But the first week, the first 7 days is really breaking down like, okay, this is what this section is for. This is what this side is for. You're going to find these tools. You're going to find, these are the redundancies. There's 1, 2, 3, I think 4 ways that you can group. Here's all the different ways so you can figure out, which one's going to work best for you. So we're going to talk about the differences between all of the versions. So whether it is the basic, the designer, designer plus, or business. So really breaking that down. If you don't have any of them, it'll help you determine which one's going to be best for you. We're going to go through the program layout, design page setup, your preferences, which are very, very important to have those, and when do you need to change those. We're going to focus on like going over the icons on the left side, the right side, and then the top, and just identifying where things are. Then we get into really working these tools. Your modify panel, your subtract, crop, make compound path, weld, divide. That's over 2 days. Then we have 2 days of text. So learning how to properly size, weld, fill, justify, space, text to path. Then there is 3 days of tracing, basic trace, multi-color trace, and multi-fill trace, trace and detach, removing those inner parts. Then there is lines and shapes, fill color and line color, and understanding like how that works when it comes to your transparency and how that can help change your designs. Your alignment tool, your replicate tool. Edit points has 2 days on the weekend. All my weekend classes are going to be a little bit longer than the regular ones during the daytime, like during the week. And of course, I strategically put edit points on the weekend because that is what most people struggle with, like fully understanding those. So there's 2 days of that on the 19th and the 20th. Image effects, which if you've taken my memorial class, you've seen what image effects really can do. That and even the switch up, we use image effects in that a lot. The flexi shapes, because those really do come in handy. Offsets is one of my favorite things to one of my favorite tools. And then in the last week, we are going to really kind of like work on some projects and Q&As for everything that you've learned and how to apply it to different projects. So like between knockout, rhinestone, the rhinestone tool is, that one's moving. So rhinestone tool, we're going to spend 2 days on the 26th and 27th creating designs with everything that we've learned. Well, not say everything, but a lot of the stuff that we've learned, kind of keeping it really basic. So there's going to be 2 days, 26, 27, which are weekends, where we're going to create designs. We're going to go through a little bit of warping, and then there is a day of, I do a lot of sublimation stuff, and people ask me all the time about creating their own templates. Now, we do have the template vault, and that is where like anything that I kind of create, I am putting it in there and you have lifetime access to it. But I get asked about that a lot. So we're going to have 1 day that's dedicated to understanding what it means to make your own template for things, how to measure them, and then translate that into Silhouette Studio. And then the last day really is a Q&A day where you'll be able to ask a lot of questions. And that's going to be one of the only ones that's 2 days, like it's 2 parts. I'm going to have the daytime one, but I'm also going to do an evening one because it is Q&A. So 30 days, like literally a video a day for 30 days. And you'll be able to go back and watch it. You won't lose access to the video after a week or 2 weeks or whatever. You have lifetime access, the lifetime of that site. Our videos are hosted through Thinkific. If something happens with that site, I do always keep a backup. So I'll have another way for you guys to watch it, but you have access to those through that particular site. As long as I'm able to continue to pay my bills and pay the site, you have access to it. Okay. So that is that. Some more information is going to come up about the graduation one, because I am strongly considering making my Wednesday so that I'm not completely burnt out. My my running Wednesday classes that I have with my bachelor students, we were already going to work, or my plan was to already work on some grad stuff during this month. So we were already going through creating different 2020 class of 2022 text designs, showing them how to trace different things, like whether it's like a grad cap or mascots and things like that. And then fan design. So we were going to, that was on my list of things anyway. And then I'm like, okay, well, it's also grad season and I have my grad program or my grad classes. So I may, that's the only reason why it's not out yet, is because I have to figure out a way to separate it, since the bulk of it was going to be in my Wednesdays anyway. I might as well not teach it twice and just, open up my Wednesdays like I did in July last year. So I'm going to do that one. But then we also have the hands-on classes, which are not a part of the program, guys. So if you're in the bachelor's, master's, doctorate program, the hands-on stuff is not a part of it. But we're going to learn to make and assemble the like grad fans, yard signs for 651. And I'll show you and teach you about the printed ones, but we're going to make yard signs using 651 vinyl. And that's a little bit later in the month. That way you guys can order your vinyl. The magazine covers, we're going to do some text designs. The graduation stole class, that I was going through the videos, and that's a lot of information in there. So I'm going to not really redo all three of those because that was a lot. That class is, it's only a year old. It's pretty much the same stuff. But for the stoles, you'll have to purchase that one. And then I am going to have more of like a hands-on one, so where you can press one out and understand how to print it, how to press it in sections. So it's going to be more of a hands-on to create your first one from a design. But if you're wanting to learn to design, you have to take the other ones. The stole class, I'm going to provide a design for you. And it's just going to be about splitting it up or printing it to the summation paper roll, and then how to press it in sections. So that's what that stole class will be. Not so much design, because I did a very, very extensive three-part class on last year. So it's a lot going on in the world of 365 Creative Academy. So my time is going to be limited. So definitely take advantage of this live video and post your questions. So, all right, said a mouthful. Morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Incredible morning. All right, I see all of you guys. If you're new here, first time catching me live, drop a hey, how you doing? Let me know where you are watching from. For anyone, well, let me know where you're watching from. I want to see if there's anyone that's in the Florida area, because one of the things I also want to do, I kind of even doesn't want to do, it's like for the corona, but I want to know who's in Florida. I've been dying to do like a meet and greet at like one of my favorite restaurants and just kind of hang out and like chill, and y'all can pick my brain live. I really, really want to do those. So I want to know if there's anyone that's in the South Florida area or willing to travel to the South Florida area over the next couple weeks. All right. All right, we're going to get right into this because I see some questions already. Let me share my screen. Oh my gosh, what is going on here? I have no idea why the interface for this has been acting crazy. So I got to go into a different screen to come back and share screen. There we go. All right, perfect. Let's see. Let's go back up here. Hi, can you show how to thicken a line using that tool in Silhouette? To thicken a line, are you talking about for a font? Are you talking about a line that's within a design and it's kind of thin? Or just a line in general and how to make it wider? That one I'll come back to so that I can fully understand what is it you're trying to learn how to do. Can you explain how to set my Epson 15,000 to print 13 by 19? have you install the drivers. If you haven't installed the drivers, you're not going to see that option. You need to go to Google and type in Epson 15,000 drivers and install that. Once you have that installed, when you go to your preferences, you're going to see where it says 13 by 19 or Super B. It will look the same. All of Epson preferences look the same no matter which printer it is, other than like the 170 and the F570. Those, their preference page looks totally different. But every other desktop Epson printer, the preferences look the same. So if I go to preference here, it's going to look like this. And under your drop down, you're going to see Super B 13 by 19 with the 15,000. You have to do it from the rear. I don't know if they have a tray. I always forget. I don't have a 15,000, but I know that you do it from the rear and just adjust your settings out, like where the paper sits, you just adjust that outward. So that's your print. Now, I'm not sure if you're having issues with print or your design program. If it's the design program, if you're not using a program that allows for 13 by 19, it's just not going to work. So just because you have a 15,000, if you are working from Cricut Design Space, there's no way to do that. Can I print 12 by 12 paper on my Epson 7710? Yes, you can. I don't think you can do edge to edge, but what you'll do is right here under document size, you're going to go to user define. And here, I'm going to go ahead and put 12 by 12. We're going to go paper width 12, paper height 12, and save. Now that just saves the paper size, right? It is best that you do your 12 by 12 from the rear feed and not try to put it inside the tray. Inside the tray, I find that it doesn't, I don't know, it's just something weird about trying to print 12 by 12 from the tray. So I recommend doing it from your rear feed. So it's best for you to set up a preset where you're going to go 12 by 12, paper source, you're going to select paper tray. I think all of them say paper tray, which is basically your rear feed. Or if it says rear feed, select rear feed. And then go through all of your whatever your regular settings are, and then go to add and remove presets and save it as a preset. That way it comes from the rear feed. I did it. I gave it to you. You kept access to, because yours was the stolen, right? I thought I did that one. So I gave you access to intermediate, even though it was messed up. If I'm not mistaken, I didn't take the advanced away, but I gave you access to the intermediate. You showed us before, but can you show again how to delete the white line inside of letters? You got to go watch that video. I'm not doing that one. I've done that one so many times on live. There is a full-on video. Now that's one where I've done that too many times, and there is a full video on it. You got to go watch that one on the web on the YouTube channel. Sorry. Will you soon have Solvent Ink? With a lot of people converting EcoTanks, will that be one of your future inks coming? So that is one of the things you saw in the title. Well, if y'all shared it, that's one of the things I am going to talk about. Just give me a moment for that. Definitely give this video a thumbs up. Is there a bundle with ink, paper, and chips for the 7310? No. No. How can I make mock-up for my tumblers and journals? So the tumblers, I have one that I use, right? It's kind of weird. I don't have that one like fully set up yet. I can't speak for any other program. I'm gonna go to I always have to look for it because it's actually, let me see, is it saved? Mock up. I have one that I basically use, but it's not like I don't know how to describe it. Let's see. I don't think it's there. Let's see. Tumblr. Now for your journal, you're just gonna, I don't know how yours kind of looks. It won't really look as like the stitching and stuff on it. If it's like a full on, like fully covered, you're not going to really have those stitch lines unless you create them yourself. But it's really just taking a rectangle and cropping your finished image to it. All right, so let's see. Where is my, okay, so there's that one. Give me one moment. All right, sorry about that. All right, let's see. We're gonna go to, where is it? I know it when I see it. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Oh, it does say Mockup. Why did it come up the first time? So it's one that works for me. It's not ideal, but it's one that I use. So I have this all set up, and it has like the shadow behind it. There is this little piece like this. So I can technically, for now, I'm just going to go and change the color. Like I can change the color to make it look like a tumbler. And let's see. Let's go to File, Open. Oh wait, here. Let's do this. File, Open Recent. Oh, it's not on here. Oh, oops. Okay, so let's go File, Open. I thought I had the one from the Whitney one on here. Let's see. What's already set up as a Tumblr? Oh, here's the Green Bay one. We'll just do that one. All right, so you do have to save it as a JPEG first. So we're gonna go File, File, Save Selection, Save to Hard Drive, Green Bay, Tumblr, JPEG, save it to my desktop, delete. File, merge. So basically, I have it all set up, and then I click on it, and I fill it in. And that is basically how I do mockups. I'm still working, and trust me, it may seem like the way that it's set up, I'm trying to, like, I haven't had a chance to write out the instructions or make a video for it because there's a lot of moving parts. So if you go and you start deleting stuff or ungrouping stuff, it's gonna mess it up. So yeah. Um, and then you just pan it to which part you want to show. And I'm trying to do it to where I have it on the other side. Like it's messed up to where if you group it together, the picture was flipping. So yeah. And then of course, this is the overlay that goes on top so that it looks more like a tumbler. And we're going to take our transparency down on that, so it has more of a gloss look. But I'm still working on it. As far as instructions to use it, I know how to use it and I know what to touch and what not to touch. And then when I flip it, if you're trying to make like a full-on mock-up and you group like 3 of them together, don't quite come out right. So it's one that I've been working on, but I haven't perfected. So I can't really tell you how to do it yourself. But for journals, kind of the same thing. You are going, once you design it, you would have a picture of your journal and kind of just crop it to that section, like crop it to it. That's one thing I can kind of say when it comes to making mock-ups. Let's see. Last week, I asked you for help regarding my colored polyester t-shirt scorching. I decreased my temperature, used a Teflon sheet, and success. Thank you very much for your help. You are very welcome, Paula. Thank you for coming back to let me know that it actually worked. Sometimes I help people and then I don't know what happens because you guys don't come back and let me know. All right, hey, that worked. Thank you for that. So thank you so much for coming back to let me know that worked for you. So I just posted a post in the Facebook group for those who are in the academy. As I said, it is Essential Silver Studio, which you guys already have. But when I did that one before, I did it. It was like one day, and it was like 4 to 5 hours. I know people lose interest after like sitting for that long, and it was more so me just ramming a bunch of information basically down your throat. So this one is a little bit slowed down, or it's broken up, so it's not all the information at once. Now, some people may like that because they want to be able to go jump to whatever they want. In this, anyone that purchased this after March, they'll be able to go back to those dates and just kind of go through whichever one they want. But those who are able to attend live, you got to wait 30 days, of course, to get all of the content. And if you're in bachelor's, it's bachelor's on speed. You guys get way more in bachelor's. If you want to take it, from there'll be some things that we haven't got to in bachelor's that you might benefit from. That's on you. There is a link that I posted there that will help you guys if you want to, but it's not included as far as your membership, but the information you have received or you will receive between now and September. What's a good large format printer? There is a video on that as well that goes over. I have videos for all this stuff. I promise you, if you ask a question, I probably have a video for it. I did a full breakdown of all of the large format printers. I'm going to find that video for you guys so I can just give you the link for it. But printers change all the time. And what one person considers to be a good one, others will not. I am one where I much prefer the workforce printers. I don't really care for the EcoTank printers just because of overall maintenance. And like if the lines ever clog, it's a lot harder to get those back working than it is with the workforce. Workforce, I open the top, I push air, I'm good, I'm done. But with the newer workforces, they don't have an auto reset chip right now. So you have to replace the chips on it. Some people find that annoying. I come from where I was buying Epson cartridges for regular prints for 2.5 years. So to get it for much, much cheaper, don't bother me none. But some people just don't really care for that. So we're going to go, honestly speaking, sub printers. So this video right here, sublimation compatible Epson wide format printers. This was as of September 2021, the ones that were available. I think even then the 15,000 was slowly being filtered out. It's really hard to find it. So I talk about that, but I mainly talk about like the 16650, 16600, and the newer workforce printers and what's the pros and cons of um, what's the pros and cons. So wide format sub printers, or wide format. I'm just going to put wide format Epson because these are also pigment ink. Some of them are pigment ink printers too. So wide format Epson printers break down. There you go. Let's see. You're in Fort Lauderdale. Ooh, West Palm, another Fort Lauderdale. Hey, neighbor. You're like neighbor. Another, oh, so that was West Palm. All right. I saw you mention something about using parchment paper, something tower, butcher paper. Can you elaborate? I just brought a huge roll. So I use both. It's not one or the other for me. I use both. I use parchment paper. I mean, I just like parchment paper. It's what I use for vinyl. Also, because I do a lot of printable transfers like the Jet Pro 3G, you have to use parchment paper for that. Parchment paper is also great if you're going to create a sublimation patch, like where a glitter patch, because you'll cut it, you'll take it off. I've done a video. I don't know if I have that one like as just a dedicated video where I talk about that, but when I want to be able to press it onto something else or even sell it to someone, I create what I call a glitter sublimation patch. You have to press that to parchment paper. If you press adhesive, if you press HTV to butcher paper, it's going to stick. But parchment paper is non-stick. So I use it for that purpose. It's a lot easier to for smaller projects, like if I'm just doing like a keychain, a bookmark, whatever. I just needed to catch the ink on the bottom. It's a whole lot easier for me to use my parchment paper because it has it's in a box that has like a little cutter on it. So shoot, cut it. It's just convenience. Butcher paper I like because it is wider than my parchment paper. My parchment paper is only 15 inches. So when I'm trying to knock out the lines on I'm trying to knock out the lines on a white shirt, it doesn't fully cover the shirt. Like it doesn't go over my heat press. I have a 16 by 20. If you have a smaller heat press, you may never need to use butcher paper. You can use all parchment paper. 15 by 15 is going to be like right on the edge. I like butcher because that is 18. Is it 18 inches wide? I think. So when I put it down to knock out the line of demarcation for sub, none of the butcher paper is on my platen. But as it's at its core, for what it's essentially used for sublimation, butcher paper, parchment paper, regular old copy paper, banner paper, construction paper, craft paper, all of it operates the same way. The only thing you can't use is wax paper and freezer paper, but it all works the same way, and it's just a barrier to protect your bottom platen or to protect your top platen if you are using a paper that bleeds through. Our paper doesn't bleed through. Or if you have ink that's exposed because you're doing like, maybe you're, I don't know, pressing in different sections, or, pressing vinyl on top of sublimation, pressing rhinestones on top of sublimation. You don't want that exposed ink to gas off and get on your top platen. So you have to cover it. So that's not something that is like a one-step thing, like you just hit a button, because it really does depend on the design. Sometimes I do it by releasing compound path, and then on the inner parts, I will do an internal offset of those and then make it a compound path again. So that makes it thicker. Sometimes it is an offset. That is one where you have to just understand the program to know when to use which one. It's not really an easy, like, okay, I can go and just show you and it's that way every single time. Especially if it's within a design. How do I line up two edges of a shape that so that they meet with no gaps? Ooh, that is a really great question, Brittany. Thank you for asking that one. I haven't seen like a question like that in like forever. So if you have version 4.4, you have smart snapping, and that actually will butt it up against each other. Like all you have to do is like turn smart snapping on, and as you bring it to it, it will butt up against each other. But if you have any of but if you have any of the other versions of Silhouette, it's not going to work that way. You then have to learn how to use your alignment tools and using Align to help you. That's a really great question. Oh my God, I'm like super excited about this question, Brittany. Thank you so much. Haven't been excited about a question to answer a question like so in a while. Let's just keep this one, right? So let's say, how can I do this? All right, so I'm just gonna take. I want to do. No, I can't do that one because there's a shadow on it. All right, I'm just gonna take a. Just take two shapes. Now, you can go and, try to make it where it is like right up against it, right? You'll have to zoom in. So, and see, look, zoomed out, I thought I was right up against it. Once I zoom in, it's like, okay, well, you're not quite there. So, I mean, you can go like this and try and get it to line up. So that's zooming it in. Better way of doing that, instead of doing it that way, utilizing your alignment tools. So it's under transform, and that first one is align. You cannot align shape to shapes because there's width to it, there's height. So for instance, if we take these and we align to the left, the circle goes all the way to the left, like whatever is furthest left. If we select them both and align it to the right, the circle was further right, the edge of the circle, so it's going to line up that way. But when you want something to come right to this edge, you have to create something that's there. So you're going to take a line and hold down shift and make it one straight line. You're going to take that and the first shape and align it to the right or left, depending on where you want it to be, and then click off. You're going to click the other shape and the line that is now at the end and tell it to align to that. So this, my line is to the left of my circle. So I'm going to tell it to align to the left. Now that is butted up right against this one. All right. And if you hold down shift and use your arrows to, move it up, move it up more, or just use your arrows, it'll make it to where it moves and stays on that line. All right. If I wanted to line up, I'm going to take this one and I want to line it up to the bottom. I'm going to hold down shift. It needs to be a straight line. It cannot have any thickness to it. Your line must be at 0. There can only be a number in one of the sizes. So width or height. It cannot be anything in both. So you're going to select here, align it to the bottom, click on the line, hold down shift, click on this, align it to the top. And then now I can delete my line if I want, or just simply move it. If I want this to the top of here, if I select it and just go to the top, it's just going to move that there. It's not really taking the bottom to the top of it. So we're going to go here and align it to the top. This, so let's say I pulled it up there, right? Another way that you know what? Let's just do it like this. Another way you can do this. So I pulled this to the top. but it's not where I want it. I want the bottom to the top. So I'm going to click on this one, replicate it to the top, and then delete this one. That's another way of doing it. Or simply just move it, select it, align it to the bottom. Boom. That was a good one. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that one. Let's see. Can you design a full t-shirt and split it for 8.5 or more silhouette business? Yes, there is a video for that. I will take you to that video. So we're gonna go. It's actually on both of my channels, so it doesn't really matter which one. Silaholics Anonymous or Honestly Speaking. So Silaholics Anonymous. Oh, wait, not subsettings. Silaholics Anonymous split. And here you go right here. Copy image address. Oh, not image address. I just realized I gave you guys the wrong one. It's supposed to be copy link address. I think I gave you the wrong one for the first one. Yeah, I think I gave you guys the wrong one. I think I copied image address instead of link address. So oversized split in Silhouette Studio. There was a video where there's a video you did where you used a finished tumbler and I think printed sheets of paper for the background. I'm not sure what you mean. There's a video where you use a finished tumbler and I think a printed sheet of paper for the background. Oh, for product pictures. That one is on TikTok. I think, yeah, that one's on TikTok. I don't think I have that on my regular ones, but yeah. So if you just want to take product pictures, that's not necessarily a mock-up. If you want to just take product pictures, yeah, you can print out any background or buy backgrounds and then take a picture. I just taught that like full on in my creative business program. I tried to upload an SVG image. I traced it in Silhouette. I tried to upload an SVM image. I traced it in Silhouette into Cricut, but it wouldn't open Cricut. It was blank. Any suggestions as to what I've been? So you have Business Edition, and you saved it as an SVG. So you went to Scalable Vector. Well, I think it says just SVG in Silhouette. So you saved it, and when you open up that SVG, it was blank. I'm not sure because I've never had that happen where if it's on there, even when it's like off to the side and you're saving the entire thing as an SVG, unless you had nothing selected and you went file, save selection and you didn't have anything selected, that's the only thing I can think of. But if you went file, save as an SVG, it should have opened. What can I use for a full color car decal? A real EcoSolvent printer, or I've never used it. Some people say it's something called Subly decal. I have never used it, so I'm not familiar with that. Only for me, for decals, for color ones, that's why I got a Roland so that I can make full color decals. The only thing that's going to print 24 inches or larger is the F570, or if you have space for it, you're going to have to get the big boys that print 36, 44, 64 in those. I've looked at them. Do I know all those numbers off the top of my head? No, because I'm not really in the market for them. I watch videos for it. I research. I probably have them written down somewhere, but I can't run those numbers off like I can for the desktop printers. You're just going to have to do your research. And it's pretty much either going to be a Epson or what's the other one? Miyaki, that thing. It's like a weird M name, but the Epson 24-inch Eco Tank one, which I don't know much about, and then you have the big boys, like the big ones. And some people convert the big ones, and they'll convert them to summation because the cartridges that come with it are actually pigment ink cartridges. So they will end up converting those by getting refillable cartridges. And if you think it's bad doing the 7820, 7840, most of the printers that people use, like the wide format ones, those you're either going to have to keep buying cartridges, or if you get the converted one, you got to change the chip on it anyway. So changing the chip on something is nothing new. People have just gotten spoiled by the older ones. I know the other day you mentioned subly thin. Do you have any suggestions for an eco-solvent printer or converting a printer eco-solvent? All right, so give me a second. I'm going to end off with that one. Yep, I just went over that in class. Yes, I like your paper, and it's time for me to get some more. I'm going to get the ink, but I don't have a printer yet. Wait, I don't have a printer yet on my way. Okay, let's see. Thank you for that. I haven't seen you in a while, Miss Carol. How you doing? I thought about you because I was going through some files because I'm getting ready for like some grad stuff. And then I remember I have them a bunch of different places, but immediately when I helped you with your greeting card and it had the Polaroids across the top, I was like, dang it, where I didn't save the Polaroids by themselves. But I remembered our one-on-one session and I put those in that one for you. So I had to go to your file to pull out my Polaroids for some templates that I was doing. Do I have a design just for memorial designs? I'm not sure if you mean a design, a class. We actually just went over memorial designs this weekend. In my vault, I do have some for obituaries. Not really anything. I'm working on like kind of how I did the obituary. Like if you want to just put anything in it, it already has like backgrounds and um, um, clouds and like just different things like that. Because I just did the memorial one, I am working on some templates because people have asked for them. I'm in my mind, I'm like, I'm teaching you how to do it, but they just want templates. So I am working on some of those, but only thing I have right now are the obituaries or funeral programs. And then there's one that is like multiple blocks. It's like multiple pictures. That one is also inside the vault. I want to go to the expo. It's not in Dallas though. Where is that at? It's in Texas somewhere. Is it in Houston? But I want to go to the expo that's in Texas. Let's see. She says me. It's always hard. Mimaki, and she says she hates it. So no, I only have the ones that's in there, that's in the vault. I don't make a lot of them. Like, I teach you guys how to do it. Making your own is just pulling in elements. I am a creature of habit. I don't try and recreate the wheel and do all this stuff. Obituaries, normally have to have those like a fast turnaround. So I just use the ones I have and I just kind of put pictures in. Yeah. You need other ones, you gotta design them yourself. I can't design them all. Oh, it's in Fort Worth. Yeah, I know it's somewhere in Texas. All right. So we have reached the end of questions. So I'm going to talk a little bit because I'm getting so many questions about eco-solvent. I feel like I can kick myself because I did this a year ago where I purchased the eco-solvent ink. And because it's a water-based one. Normally when it comes to eco-solvents and solvent and latex printers, it's a special type of printer that you have to use because they're special tubings. The print heads are made a certain type of way. They're not made with a lot of plastic to it because solvent inks will melt the crap out of it. But then there was this development of water-based eco-solvent inks. With these, you can put them in a regular printer and print onto heat transfers, like printable heat transfers. So your color, your Caesar color print, your subly thin, the ones from Stalls and things like that. I found that because it's water-based and because there's no heat to it, it did not work well for adhesive decals. I tried, and that's the only reason why I wanted an eco solvent. I did not want an eco solvent printer for shirts. For me, Jet Pro 3G works perfectly fine. It to me, it's almost just like the vinyl. It's just as crunchy. If you're doing a big one, it's just as hard. If I'm doing one that is separated letters, it feels the same. So for me, I never really had a desire to use my eco solvent printer for printable clothing transfers, like heat transfers. I wanted it for, I was tired of cutting and weeding vinyl for helmet decals, car decals, things like that. I wanted it for our stickers for our business. So I got a Roland, and it's a 20-inch printer, but you really only can do like 18 and a half, 18.9, 19 inches, somewhere in there. So that's what I got that for. All the ones that people are converting, because we only think of Epsons for converting. That's all people think of. Um, Eco solvent is not like sublimation. Sublimation is heat activated. So you cannot use heat printers that use heat, thermal printers. You have to use heat-free printers when you're converting it for sublimation. Eco solvents are different. It's just water-based ink. It actually looks like, you know what? I said I was going to talk about it and I forgot to get it. Give me one moment. I'll bring you guys so you can see what eco solvent ink looks like. Hold on one second. Okay, I almost broke my neck because even is changing out the lights. So there's no power on that side of the house. And I tried to navigate that garage with a flashlight and I almost broke my neck twice. So I'm going to have to show y'all that later once he turned the power back on. Because I saw my light flash before my eyes a couple times and I ain't like how that felt. Hold on. It's dark in there. Because there's like no light. It doesn't have windows to it. And I feel like I'm going to die. And I'm out of breath. Because I tried to keep myself from breaking my neck. My butt a little hurt. I'm gonna have to do that once he turns the lights back on. Cause whew. Look here. I like y'all and all, but I won't be doing that again. Whoosh! I was out of breath. And then I'm on the other side of the house. So it ain't like he heard me scream. Like, what the heck? I was scared. I was scared. I was scared. I was scared. My heart is pounding. I'll show y'all that, but I have the ink. Anywho, what I was saying with it was like it looks just like the ink that comes in the Epson printers. So it's really just like dye-based inks. You can put it in any printer. I have a Canon one, and at first I was going to put pigment ink in that one just for the heck of it, but I'm going to probably put my Eco Solvent ink in that particular printer. Once I do that and I test it, only thing it may or may not match the color profile. That's the only thing, and I'm not really trying to work on color profiles. They will say that they make it for Epson printers. Sublimation ink. The reason why it says it's made for Epson printers, it's made for Epson pigment ink printers because it is pigmented like pigment ink. Okay. To be honest with you, other than the fact that the printer uses no heat, sublimation ink really is not made for EcoTank printers and dye-based printers. It's a totally different color profile. It's really hard to make a color profile to make it match because this ink is nothing like the ink that comes with it, the dye ink. That's why every time you see it, it says it's made to match the Epson profile, but it's really only made to match the workforce or the pigment ink profiles because it looks like it. It's not made for dye. But when it comes to dye, it's all pretty much dark. It's going to mix. It might be like a slight difference in color. So any of the EcoTank printers except the 16600, 16650 can be used for Eco Solvent print. It's just a regular ink. It just so happens to be where you can use it and it will go into printable transfers. But for vinyl, because it doesn't, the reason why I also want to test it, Epson printers are heat free. My Roland, when it's printing, you can feel the heat. There is a heater in there that helps that. So I'm hoping that the Canon ones, or like I think I have a Canon one, if they have an EcoTank, or they have a tank system. I'm hoping because that one uses heat to expel the ink, that I will be able to print onto adhesive vinyl. But if not, I know if nothing else, it should print on Caesar color print. So that's one of the tests I do plan to do with ours. If it works, then we will sell it and I have to test it. I don't sell anything I can't test. And I just haven't had a desire to get into that to test it. I have a Roland. I went with an actual Eco Solvent printer. But I have been inundated with a lot of questions about this. Is this the next wave? Is the next Eco Solvent is nothing new. people are just, someone tried it out. Well, actually, I'm not gonna say someone tried it out, because if you look, there are years and years and years of video. That Solvent ink came because people were trying to truly convert a printer. Like, they would take it apart, they were changing the tubes in it to a tube that wouldn't melt. They had to change the print head to one that wasn't plastic. They were like making it kind of like this metal thing you had to put on the inside. So people have been converting printers for solvents for the longest time. They just recently, over like the past like couple of years, came out with an eco solvent version. It just never really picked up. Now it's picking up a lot more because Epson has a lot more eco tank printers. Once I'm able to do it and test it and all of that, I will let you guys know. It's not a matter of coming out with the ink for it. I've said it time and time again. Anyone can come out. You can. If you want to tap into this market, you can get you some eco solvent ink and have them put your label on it, and you can sell it, because that is what's trending right now. So it's not like I'm going to come out with my own line brand of it. You know, we can add it to the line by having our manufacturer just fill our bottles with it. Again, it's something that I will strongly look into now, because when I did it before, I put it in my workforce printer. The colors were horrible, and it does not print to adhesive vinyl. So for me, I wrote it off. Like I said, I had no desire to do shirts. So when it did not work for adhesive vinyl, oh, this don't concern me. Like, I was like, whatever. But I see a lot of people wanting to use it for shirts so that they don't have to cut a bunch of layers. They can just print it out. You still have to weed. You're still going to have to do a print and cut. It actually is even, it can be more stressful now, because if you're having issues with print and cuts on your silhouettes, on your Cricuts, getting that eco solvent printer, you can't just print and just go. With the eco solvent printers, whether it's a roll-in or one that you're going to print it off and put it in your machine, you have to have an understanding of how to do print and cuts. If you can't do a print and cut right now on Jet Pro 3G, sublimation paper, regular paper, you're gonna feel like you wasted your money. So before you go out and even think about investing in another printer for eco solvent, practice your prints and cuts with Jet Pro 3G, sticker paper, cardstock. You know, if you want to do sublimation to glitter, sublimation to glow in the dark, practice your print and cut with that. Print and cut is something that you're going to have to master. You're going to have to master for eco solvent. The other thing is, I know slowly people will start to come out with sheets already cut to size. It wasn't made for printers like the desktops. So you're not going to find a lot of people, like companies right now, that's going to sell that vinyl in sheets. When you're doing a print and cut, it needs to be the exact size. So if you're doing 8.5 by 11, you're going to set it to 8.5 by 11. Your registration marks need to be in a certain spot. So that sheet needs to be 8.5 by 11, or right at 11 by 17, right at 13 by 19. It's still like the vinyl, and Caesar, Stahl's Cat Cut, any of those, they don't sell them in sheets. So anyone that's going to sell sheets of it, they're going to buy those rolls in bulk, and they're going to have to cut it down. If they don't have an industrial cut machine and they're cutting them sheets down by hand to sell you guys sheets ready to go, oh, be prepared to pay an arm and a leg. It is not like buying sublimation paper. Or if you end up buying the rolls yourself, you're going to have to spend some time cutting it. So while everybody is showing you all about eco solvent, oh, it's so easy. They're showing you printing it out. They're showing you cutting it. They're showing putting it on there. They don't show the work that it takes to get it there. Either you're going to spend a lot of money on pre-cut sheets because there are none made. Somebody's going to be taking a little guillotine cutter and they're going to be cutting sheets down. And you better pray that they know what they're doing and their sheets are even every single time. Or you yourself are going to have to take that big roll. It normally comes in like 20 inches wide, and you're going to have to go in and cut let's say 11-inch strips, 8.5-inch strips, 13 by 19 strips, and then you'll put them in there. The other downside of that is it's on a roll. If you complain or you don't like when your sublimation paper kind of rolls and it jams, oh, be prepared for that when it comes to eco solvent printers, because that's on a roll. So when you put it in there, it's gonna curve because they don't sell sheets for this stuff yet. So I wanted to come on and like really talk about it. Like, it's not just print and go. You got to know print and cut, and there are no sheets right now for there are no sheets for the solvent printer. You're gonna have to do a lot of legwork and cutting it down yourself. And those rolls are not, let's see, I'll show you what the cost of them, what the cost is. Let's go to Florida Flex. We're gonna go to Florida Flex and we're gonna go to Brilliant Vinyl. Now, I ain't trying to like, dash anybody's hopes or dreams. And, I've been told that because I give the truth, like it can be discouraged. Like, it's like I'm trying to discourage people from doing certain things. And it's not that. I just want you to know what it takes to do these things. That there's more to it than just a quick 15-second video, a 5-minute video that you see. There's a lot more on the back end. So 29 by 25, 252, 282. This is matte. This is easy. This is a 50-yard one. And I typed that in and they only have it like this. So I typed in color print. That's all they have. I'm going to go to Florida Flex. And vinyl. Oh, there it is. Printable vinyl eco solvent. So 20 inches wide, 1 yard roll. So that is 36 inches, but then you have to go and you have to cut it down. That is $10 for, that's how much they charge for theirs. If you go to the 25-inch one, 20 inches, that is, and then 25 yards, that's 175. The subly thin is here. So you can check this. No one's going to sell sheets right now. I don't think I've ever seen Caesar color print sheets. Let's see. Is anyone selling color print sheets? So they have the 10-yard roll, and that's $58. They have the 5-yard roll, but it is still going to be $20. That is $49. $25 on that one. So that's all from Heat Transfer Warehouse, which we do have a link for that if you decide you want to get that. Pro World, 20 inches. I'm not sure. It says by the roll. I'm not sure how. We have a link for that as well. So theirs is a 5-yard roll, 20 inches, $49. A 25-yard roll is $210. So you're going to see the prices are going to vary as for when you're getting them. So if you're spending that kind of money for an eco solvent printer, it's not like doing regular prints on it. I mean, you're using it for printing vinyl. Be prepared to spend a good little money on some vinyl. The 5-yard roll only gets you so much, because I normally buy my vinyls by the 5-yard roll, and when I'm doing like a lot of shirts, it only gets you so much. So be prepared to spend some coinage on some vinyl. Okay. Let's see. Hopefully that answers your questions about EcoSolvent. I don't use a 15,000 at all. I've never wanted one. I don't like Eco tanks to begin with. I prefer workforce printers. I don't, and I wasn't about to pay that kind of money for that printer anyway. So I have no personal experience with a 15,000. I can tell you about like just printing from them, the print settings and stuff like that. I know a lot of people, no matter what summation paper they were using, was having a lot of issues with 15,000s jamming. So that was a turnoff for me. And yeah, I just don't like the fact that it's dye-based ink. Yeah, I don't use a 15 at all. Are you able to show me how to do the line thickening within a design? So again, I answered that one. It's not something. It really depends on the image that you're doing. If it has a lot of movement to it, it's not it's nothing with the line tool. It is tracing it, doing a trace and detach. I mean, tracing it, doing a release compound path, then going in and doing a internal offset to determine how thick you want it to be. It's not something with the line tool in any way, shape, or form. Now, maybe what you're wanting to know, hold on, let me do it like this. Maybe this is what you're wanting to know, how to just do an offset of it. Let's go to my library and let's go to like a butterfly. So let's go butterflies. I know I have some of those that are pretty thin. All files. All right, let's see. All right, let's take this one. Oh, shoot, that's a picture. Let's go with this one. I don't know how intricate this is. Oh yeah, I don't have time for that. That's a little too intricate. All right, we're gonna rock with this one. It's not really intricate, but we're gonna rock with it. If one part of this was super thin and you're wanting to increase it, you're gonna go to your offset tool and you're just going to put an offset around it. You decide how thick you want that to be. I don't know how thick you want it. It can be deceiving when you're looking at it on screen, but you're just going to add weight to it depending on how thick you want that to be. And you're going to hit apply once you get it to the size that you want, how thick you want it to be. Most times you're going to start off really low. If you go up too high, it's going to completely distort your image and you're not going to see certain parts of it. So actually, I'll leave that way, right? So I'm going to hit apply. I'm going to move that one and fill it with color. Same exact color. Because you just did a simple offset, it makes it where it's way thicker. Can you put a line color on it? Yes. So if you want to make it black and you want to make this, let's say 3, you're going to lose detail on the inside if you're only trying to get the vines on the outside. The inside of the butterfly will, you're going to lose that part of it. And then when it comes to cutting this, you have to make sure that you go to cut edge, because the line thickness is really just a visual. So see here, that's just a visual. If you were to go and cut it, it's still going to cut it as if it is the regular one. You have to go to cut edge. So what you were asking had nothing to do really with the line tool, unless like you're wanting to lose parts of it. Now I'll show something like quickly from this one. So if you want it to do the outside, but not the inside, you're going to have to release compound path. I'm going to hold down shift. I'm going to click on the background and I'm going to have to click here, click here, click here, click here. I'm going to group these together, make them a different color. I'm going to take this piece and put an offset on it. You make that however big you want it to be and hit apply. I'm going to move this one out of the way. Well, actually, I could have left that one too. I'm going to select it and then make this a compound path. What happened? Make compound path and fill that in with color. So I kept the inside part. I made the outside, but this was one that's very, very simple. That's why I asked, what was it that you were trying to do? Because I can show this, but if your image is not like this, and you're not just trying to do an outside, let's say there was a piece and you now have to cut off and isolate that one and then weld it back. It's not something that is a quick click of a button. Again, until I see your image, it can be a number of things. I just showed 3 different techniques with trying to do the outside. Doing the inside is a little bit different. Depending on, let's say, where is it? This is the original. So let's say you wanted to just leave the outside the way that it was and do the inside, you're going to have to trace it. This is already a vector image. So I'm going to just ungroup it, hold down shift, click on the back. This is the inside part. So I'm going to make that a color and group that together. It's already grouped. So then you would take this and you would do an internal offset, decide how large you want that internal offset to be. And you're going to lose details in it. If you did not want all of them to be changed, you have to select the ones that you want to be changed. There is no click of any button that's going to allow you to just thicken certain parts. So let's say I wanted that to be thicker. We're going to go ahead and hit apply. That's going to be all separated. So we're going to just make that any color for now and group it together. Then I'm going to click on the orange and get rid of that. Select this, make it a compound path. And when you compare it to this one, the inside areas are slightly thicker, but the outside stayed the same. So if you look at the wings, it's not as small now. Actually, no, I did that backwards because it made this area bigger, but that's the other thing too. So I made it to where this area is bigger, like the spacing on it. So the thickness of the actual wing, like the in between the sections, those are bigger, right? But then what I also did was I had to make these smaller. So you would have to select the parts that you want to isolate and either do an offset or internal offset and make them a compound path and then either subtract them and things like that. And then let's say if you wanted these to be the same, you'd have to hold down shift, deselect those circles, only apply the thickness to the middle section and then leave the circles by itself. That's why I would say it's not a wham bam, thank you ma'am type of process. It really depends on what it is that you're trying to do and the way the image is set up. You have to have a full understanding of making things a compound path or releasing them, your internal offsets, grouping together what you need to group together so that one part is isolated and it's unaffected by the change. So it's hopefully that helps you somewhat either understand how to do it more or be like, okay, look, I can't do this for y'all. But there's like a lot of different techniques to that. Okay. Thanks for answering earlier. I didn't add color to the trace. Once I added color, it appeared. Thank you. You're very welcome. Yes, you do have to, but that shouldn't matter though, because when it, even though it's blank, so when it, I guess I thought like nothing showed up, because even without color, if you had line color to it, it should still show up in Cricut Design Space. But I am glad that you figured it out. What about Vivora 24-inch wide cutter or larger? Sorry, I'm not sure if you answered this question. Oh, I didn't even see that question before. I've never used Vivora. I don't know. I don't use every single machine that's out there. Some things you guys are going to have to find someone that's using it and get their honest opinion on it, or buy it and try it out yourself. The one thing that I have learned about like Vivora is it's no different than an Honestly Speaking company, where they have sourced items from overseas and they just put their logo on it. Because I have the Vivora mug presses, and while my regular one is okay, the dome one that I have, they don't sell the replacement pieces. So I paid all that money for it. The piece that holds the tumblers and the cups, they broke. Like it just literally ripped off. And I tried to contact them to even buy a replacement piece for it. They don't have it. If something were to go wrong with any heat presses, any cutters that you get from them, they don't have replacement parts. It's like they ordered those items from China, they have their name on them, and they didn't order any other pieces for it. So if you have issues, I've been trying to find where to get that little piece from. Like I've been on Alibaba, DH Gates, AliExpress, searching for that particular type of mug press to try and find the extra pieces for it, so I can at least order some. Because right now I have a machine that is a paperweight because the inside piece is broke and it sucks. sucks. All that money. So I thought I took it off. If it is still on there, let me know. I no longer really recommend Vivora because they aren't prepared to really, they say they have a warranty, but they don't fix anything. They don't send you replacement parts. When I had my issue with my Hotronics, it was a knob. They were able to send me that knob to fix the issue. Don't find that with Vivora. So I would recommend getting it from an actual company, like GrabTech. They're going to have like one of the first things you can search for when you're looking for equipment, see if they have a section for replacement parts. See if they have a section for repair. If a site that sells these large machines, these large items, don't have a tech support, don't have where you can buy replacement parts or a repair option, don't buy it. Because all they're doing is buying it from overseas, putting their name on it and selling it. And when you have an issue, there's no way for you to get it fixed, because they're not going to want for you to send it back to them, because then they're stuck with the dud and they're going to have to pay for the shipping on it. I will never do that again. I do use, I think the two buddy one that you have to pay for, I use, which you saw it on my, when I went on there. I like, where is it? Where'd you go? So I have both, but I like vidIQ. I pay for vidIQ, which that's what you were kind of seeing, because it tells you top searches, related searches. There was a video that I was on, and it'll tell me like other content creators who have used like, hold on. Don't delete. It'll tell you like other content creators. Oh, come on, hush up. There we go. And who's trending. It gives you your analytics on it. What are good keywords? Like, so I like vidIQ, and I pay for it every month. Well, I think I paid for it annually. I didn't do the monthly. I think I paid for it annually. But I was on something. I was searching something, and some other videos came up on the side. I think if I just go to YouTube, it tells you like your top competitors and stuff like that. Now it don't want to show me. How you're ranking when it comes to certain things. So vidIQ is what I use. I have TubeBuddy. It's normally sitting at the top. Like if I go to one of my videos, hold on. Let's go to my channel and my video. Oh no, I have Social Blade, not TubeBuddy. So I have Social Blade, which I'm not logged into right now. So yeah, those are the ones I use. All right, we've been on for an hour and a half. I was trying to extend it out because this is going to be one of the last ones for quite some time. It's a Monday. I like to jump on right on a Monday and get into it. I'm gonna find that eco. I'm gonna probably go get a bigger flashlight because I don't think he's gonna turn the lights on. And I'll probably bring that Canon one in here. I still have to, I'm waiting for me to clear this stuff out because I do think my sawgrass cord is behind this table. And it's probably on the floor. So I can do my sawgrass one. I'm trying to get those in. So when I do videos, it won't be just general Q&As. It will be videos like setting up my sawgrass, setting up, if I can find this eco solvent one, get the ink, put it in my Canon. So it'll be like demo videos like that. Of course, I'll do promotional videos for products, for classes. So I'll be on to promote those things, but I won't be doing very many Q&As and things like that for the month of March. Yes, I mean, I'll still be on Facebook and, whichever ones I see, if I'm available, I'll answer that way. I'm trying to get you guys out of my inbox. I always tell people, send me inboxes. I'll tell them, go post in the group. Because I feel like people think they come to my inbox, I'm obligated to answer. And then if I don't answer because I'm busy, it's like, oh, wait, why you ain't answering me? So I don't really answer a lot of stuff from my inbox, in my inbox anymore. I tell you to go to my groups. Help me out. Put the analytics in the group. If you want private help, then you pay for private help. But if you just want a general question, you have to be able to post it in the group. Thank you for sharing. How do I access my classes that I paid for? Most all of my classes are on the Academy site. If you have never taken a class, you have not fully set up your account on the Academy site, there is going to be an email. And like the very first time you sign up, you receive an email from the Academy site. Check your promotions, check your spam, or if you're on Google, go to all mail, or just do a search for Silaholics Anonymous Academy or 365 Creative Academy. Just put Academy and it should come up. There is an express login that express sign up, and you have to click on that link to create your password for the 365 Creative Academy site. Once you have that, all of your classes will be there and on your dashboard. You buy it on our shop site, but the classes are hosted on 365 Creative Academy. So this is it right here. When you go to it and you log in, you're going to have my dashboard. Your dashboard will have all of your classes. Now, if it is one where it's like for the memorial one, that is not on this platform. If you took the memorial one, I sent you links for the last one that we just did on Friday. Those have not been sent out yet. As it states, it will be sent out within 48-hour business days. That was done on a Friday. So today you will receive the links to the playback video. I was testing something out with that one. Those are not on the dashboard. And it says in your welcome email that it will not be in the Academy, that you will receive an email with the playback links for that. But if it is something that is through the Academy, it will be on your dashboard. All right. Have you been able to log into learn.365 Creative Academy? Oh, nothing showed up even with the line color. That's interesting. Want to see how it comes up. So if you had it looking like this and then you saved it, then yeah, it probably won't. So file, save as, save to heart. Well, actually, no, I meant to put a line color on it. So let's just put black. File. File, save as, save to hard drive. Oh, it's not going to let me do it. Shoot. That is a, let me see. Butterfly. I don't think it's going to let me save it because it is a file from the design store. Yeah. So it gives me this warning right here, which I figured. So we're just going to hit OK. I should have known that it was going to do that. And then how long do we have access after purchasing class? Forever. As long as the host site that I use, which is Thinkific, as long as they don't go belly up and their site gets shut down, you have access to it. And I pay my bill. Actually, I pay for it. I don't know. I think I changed that one, so I pay for that one annually. I don't think I pay for that one monthly anymore. So I'm paid up for at least a year. So as long as they don't shut down within a year and they don't go belly up, your classes are there for you forever, ever, forever, ever, forever, ever. Yeah, see, even that one still comes up. It's going to be a dash line, but it should still come up with the line. So I'm not sure why yours came in with absolutely nothing, because that one had nothing on it, no fill, no nothing, and it still shows up. So I'm not sure. Oh, if it's a trace picture, like a regular picture, you can't bring in like an actual JPEG. It'll come in as something black. If it's a name that you typed out. So when you say picture, did you trace it to where you are able to fill it in with color? If that's the case, then that will come up. But if you trace, like, let's say an image of Mickey Mouse and it's not where you're changing the colors, you can't save JPEGs or PNGs as SVGs. It's going to open up as just a black hole. Yes, Canon is just a regular printer. All printers you buy in the stores are going to be regular printers. Anything that you go into Walmart, Target, Best Buy, you order online from just like a regular big box store. All of those are going to be regular printers. They're not going to come with Solvent ink in it, sublimation ink in it, latex ink in it. Like, they're going to be regular everyday printers. The word convert basically just means that you are using it in a form that it wasn't intended for. You're switching out the ink that comes in the box. That's all convert means. Some people say, oh, you don't convert an eco tank. Yes, you do, because it comes with dye ink. You're putting sublimation. So you have converted it from a regular desktop printer to a sublimation printer. Are you still there? Did you see that part? I'm not sure if you heard me when I asked, are you able to log into 365 Creative Academy? I was trying to hold off to see if you responded back before I got off. I was waiting on your response because I've been on for almost 2 hours and I gotta go. I have to finish my calendar for the academy. I have to create the separate listing and the separate flow through my email marketing for the graduation stuff. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. Got to go through this calendar and put all this stuff on my physical calendar and schedule the Zooms. You're this person? That's not you, Carol. That's you. I'm talking about this person that asked about how to access their classes. That's not you. I'm like, unless you're watching from 2 different channels. I mean, 2 different pages. All right. So I was waiting for that person, but they didn't answer. So I'm going to close out with this. If you guys missed it, if depending on when you joined in, my silhouette 30-day, I don't know what I'm calling it. It's just learn silhouette studio in 30 days. I don't really want to call it a challenge because it's not really a challenge. But you can click the link in the description. I'm also going to just go ahead and drop it into the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to go to the description because once I'm off, you can't click on that link anymore. But on Facebook, you guys can click on it. But starting March 1st, from March 1st through March 30th, I will be doing basically teaching Silhouette Studio live 1 hour every day. It is a daytime class, y'all. I will have kind of like afternoon type stuff on the weekends, but I cannot teach all my classes. I have classes that I'm already teaching in the evenings. So it is a daytime class. If y'all can be on here with me for a live for 2 hours on YouTube, it's no different. You don't have to, it's going to go slow. You can always go back and watch it, and it's going to be broken down. There is a discussion tab on it. So if you have questions, you can always post it there. There will be a Facebook group also, but it won't be a Facebook group that's going to be, how can I say it? It's a Facebook group that is a temporary one. So I think I plan on it for about 2 months, 60 or 90 days. I think it was, because I plan to do it again, like every quarter. I want to be able to do, people want to kind of be in the live one. So I'm still trying to figure that out, but there will be a Facebook group, but it will only be for things that are related to this. It's not a kind of coming here, hey, can you help me design this? If it's not about answering the question for essentials and understanding the essentials, we won't be answering those questions in that group. It's just a quicker way for you to ask questions. I watched this part of the video. I don't understand this. Can somebody help me? Buddy up, find a partner in there. So there will be a separate Facebook group for it. But it's not a free for all. And, you're going to get access to all of my teachings. I'm not going to be doing live videos in the group. It's just a community where you guys can go and help each other out, ask questions, and I'll help too. But I will not be doing live videos in that group. So yeah, that's that one. And I'm going to go through the rundown again of what all we're going to cover. It is $83.65. We do offer Sezzle on the site if you want to use that to purchase it and have them break your payments up, but it's $83.65. And we're going to go through, like, day one is really going over the differences in the versions. That way, before we really get into the nitty gritty, if you want to purchase Designer, Designer Plus, or Business, there are going to be several things that I do, which are only available if you have Designer or designer, or designer plus or business. And some stuff that you can do only if it's business. Like if you want to save as a JPEG, SVG, all of that, you must have business edition. One of my favorite things is my center of rotation. When we get into some designing stuff, you're going to need the center of rotation, unless you want to just kind of make it work and move yourself, which I will not wait for you guys to do that. I'm going to do it the way that I know how to with when I say know how to, it's the easier way with the center of rotation. So the first day we're going over the differences in the upgrades. Then we're going to go over the program layout for you to really understand like the different sections and how Silhouette has them broken up. We're going to go over some terminology. We're going to go over the shortcuts during that time. And then we're going to go over preferences and how those should be set up. What does it mean when you have multiple bounding boxes and none? When should you have it choose select versus continue drawing? Like, we're going to go over all of that. Then we go into design page setup. We go over because that's Saturday. So we go over design page setup and the right side, and that's Saturday and Sunday. And then that Monday, it is the right side. And then we go into breaking down a lot of the tools. We go through the modify tools, subtract and crop. Then the next day is weld and divide. We have 2 days of text and different techniques when it comes to text to path, things like that. We then have 3 days of tracing, basic, multi-trace, multicolor, or multi-fill, trace and detach. Those are all from Saturday through Monday. Then it is lines and shapes, fill tool and line color tool, and how to make those, like make your designs and stuff pop. Then we're going to go over the align tool. I gave you a little bit in one of the ways you can use it, but there's so many benefits to really learning the align tool to make designing so much easier. So that is the 17th. No, replicate is the 18th. On the 19th and 20th, which is on the weekend, I'm going to be so burnt out that day because I have 3, like when I tell y'all know, some of my classes, they run and, I'll let you guys ask questions. That Saturday, the 19th and the 20th, when I tell you it's a hard cutoff because I have 3 different classes on the 19th. Don't ask me what I was thinking. I have 3 different classes scheduled on the 19th. I have the edit points. I have my sublimation for beginners, and that's where we're going over templates. I'm going to show you like templates. I'm going to press some things. What else is on that one? Where's my list? For beginners, if you want to attend it live, it's a little bit different from the first 2 because we're going to do some like actual demos, and then I also have part of my graduation series on that day. Although I think that one, I might move it. It was already originally scheduled. And I realized, oh, wait, the 30-day challenge. That's 3 things on that day. I just might move the graduation one to a different day or be hot on coffee that day. So 2 days of point editing, because that is one that's a lot of people struggle with that one. So I spent 2 days for edit points. Then we go over image effects, shapes, flexi shapes, combined with edit points and how to change those, offsets. Then we go into like some actual design stuff. No, flexi shapes, I moved. I put that up with shapes. Right, that's what that is. Rhinestones is on, basics of the rhinestones is on the 22nd. Then we're going to start to build out some designs on the 24th. We're doing some basic rhinestone designs on the 25th. Then we're going to create design like an SVG, create some things that are sub-friendly on the 26th and 27th. So we're going to combine all of the tools and, understanding those tools and putting them together. That's on that Saturday and Sunday, the 26th and 27th. The 28th, we're going to go over warp, and it's more so just warp for sublimation for the tumblers. That's really what that class is for. And then the 29th and the 30th are more so like Q&A days. That's the only one where, like, during the week, I'm going to have a daytime session and an evening session so that you guys can ask whatever questions you may have on those days. So for your cannons, are they eco tank ones or are they cartridge? So for cartridges, you're going to have to, if they're cartridge, you have to see if someone sells cartridges that you can fill with it. But if they are eco tank based, then you can put the ink in there. Cartridges, can't help you with that. Hello. So yeah, definitely click on the link if you guys are interested in that. You will have a full understanding. I was trying to actually do this one. A full understanding of the basics of Silhouette Studio. So it's my essentials of Silhouette Studio broken down a little bit more. You know, it's a better to like sit and understand it instead of trying to get it in 4 to 5 hours. And if you're in my bachelor's program, it's bachelor's on speed. On those Saturday days where we're really going into designs, it's like it's on speed. You're in bachelor's, you know that we take our time. You guys get to share your screen. Not with this one, because we're going to be on a strict time limit. And then this is March, April, May. No, in June will be level 2 of this. I will not be going over the basics of Silhouette Studio for the one in June. The one in June will be to master Silhouette. Like, I'm going to show you how to really put these different things together to either modify certain designs, create your own designs. So it's going to be kind of like my master's, but on speed. So that's in June. But this is understanding the basics. If you want to do the one in June, you either have to have already taken this, and I am working to create a questionnaire. If you don't answer certain things on that questionnaire, you will be refunded. Like if you go and buy it and you don't complete the questionnaire, because we cannot, for that one, we cannot go back over basics. If you didn't take the time to learn the basics, June is not going to be for you. June is for those who are serious about learning how to really put designs together. Okay. And of course, more information on that will come as we get closer to that time. So I'm going to go ahead and close out, everyone. Thank you guys so very much for joining me this morning. I will see you guys sporadically throughout the month of March. I do plan to be live again this evening for another Q&A, because I won't be live, like I said, in March as much. And yeah, if you ever have questions, join my groups. You can tag me. If I'm available, I'll answer. But we have a group of amazing people who could answer your questions for you. So be sure to join my free groups, and I should talk to you guys later. All right. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.